Manuel Rivero Hall is home to the men's and women's basketball team and volleyball team. It opened in 1973 and has a seating capacity of 2,500. It was named after a longtime professor, Manuel Rivero, and he died in 2001. He worked at the university from 1933 to 1977. He also established the university's first Department of Health and Physical Education. The hall was named after him in 1986.
So, as a student librarian, I know that you also do track and field. Do you think that Manny Rivero is haunted?
Definitely, definitely, especially in the boiler room.
Why is that?
It's just creepy. We only have one light down there, and there are times like we can hear like certain noises, like clicks and certain like shifts in equipment, which is kind of creepy because sometimes you're the only one down there, and you'll hear like weird stuff.
So, where is the boiler room?
Boiler room is actually under the pool.
Under the pool?
Under the pool.
I've heard things about the pool.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird because there's this little window in the boiler room that shows you the pool.
Mm-hmm.
But like other than that, that's like the only light that you're getting other from the one in the back. And it's dark, it's cold down there, all cement, they have old equipment, there's cobwebs. It's weird down there.
You ever heard any
Definitely.
stories?
Story? Nothing too crazy.
So, what exactly happened while you were there?
So I was finishing my lifeguarding shift at the pool, and there were only like a few people there. And one of them shrieks and goes, "I told you to stop touching my leg." And we're like, "No one's near you, girl." So once she notices no one was around her, her friend was far away, she freaks out. So the first thing I did was pull out my whistle and get them all together. And I had to explain to her that it was either a Band-Aid or some bubbles. But she said she felt the hand, which I doubt. But I mean, that couldn't happen. But she was so shook, I don't even know. Good thing I'm skeptical, or I'll be out of my job.
What do you mean nothing too crazy?
Nothing too crazy, like nothing involving like a poltergeist.
Now, what exactly happened?
Okay, so I was the last one in the locker room, and I was just getting all my stuff together, and then I heard the door open. But I just thought it was on my teammates, so like I ain't paid no mind. And then all of a sudden I just start hearing crying, right? I'm like, who is crying? So I start yelling out, like, is anybody in here? But nobody said nothing. So like I started walking around like looking like to see if anybody was in there, but I didn't see nobody. So I was like, whatever, I don't play them games. So I got the fuck up out of there.
So, this is Manny Rivero Hall, and I'm walking around on the first floor getting an idea for where I'll be spending the night. And this is the computer lab that's used by athletes in order to complete their study hall hours. Um, it's not the nicest room. It has gaps in the ceiling, openings in the ceiling, pipes showing, windows open probably all the time. And the nicest thing in here are probably the floors. I don't think it's used too often by students. Probably in the beginning of the semester or by transfer students most of the time because they think that that's where they're supposed to be. But athletes tend to prefer the library or Wright Hall because this is not an environment that's conducive to learning. Uh, yeah, it's quite a mess. This is where I thought I heard something. I swore that I heard my name, and the TV was looking really creepy. Looked like it had eyes on the screen or something, but I promptly got out of there because I was not having that. Up here is the newest gym. It's cleaner than the rest of the building. And it's a little dark in here. I couldn't find the switch, but it looks fairly safe. I think this would be a good spot to hole into to try to disprove or prove the theory that Manny Rivero is haunted.
Um, what happened while I was in Manny Rivero was that I was it was when I was considering becoming manager of the girls soccer team, and I guess I had gone in there when it wasn't a busy day or something, and I was waiting outside of the coach's office, and then I heard something fall, like somebody fall, and I heard like a faint help. So I was like, oh my gosh. And so I went into the stairway or whatever, and I went and tried to find who needed help. And then next thing you know, a door slammed somewhere. And by that time, I was on the first floor. Um, and I was like, what the hell? And I was like, hello, is anyone there? But nobody answered me. And I tried to get out of the staircase, get back into the staircase, get back upstairs, but all of a sudden it was locked. And I know the system in Rivero, if you can come in through a door, you could go out through that door. But it was locked, and I was kind of scared because first off, it was a little bit dimly lit. There was nobody else there, and I heard some hushed tones, and I was all alone. So I called my boyfriend at the time because he's a football player. I was like, I'm stuck on the first floor. I need some help. And he could tell I sounded a little scared. He's like, are you okay? I'm like, no. I feel like I just got, trapped by like a ghost or something. And he had to come and get me. But like when I told him the story, he didn't really believe me. And needless to say, I never went back there. And I said, screw it about the managerial job.
So now I went into Manny Rivero. I snuck in and spent the night. This is footage of me coming in and scoping the area before I settled down in the newer training room, weight room. I mean, I I saw this before and I had to hold off on going in there because I knew it would be creepier at night. But once I went in there, it was just as I imagined, and eerily creepy. I have no idea what that sound is. I don't know where it was coming from. I don't know why there's so much space in here. It's a storage room. As you could tell, I was not okay with being in this spot, but I had a haunting to prove or disprove, so I had to suck it up. Um, in my quest to disprove or prove the theory, I realized I was seeing things in Manny Rivero that were never there before. I was seeing bloody walls, caution tapes, and things hanging from the ceiling, cobwebs. And I went into the old training room and it was disgusting. It was creepy, and I thought I saw a girl in the hallway and in a doorway and again in another room. There were just many things that I feel like what I was seeing was being messed with. Um, and I was able to capture some of the stuff, but some of my footage was erased.
This is Detective St. Louis coming in with my final conclusions on whether or not Manuel Rivero Hall is haunted. And considering the stories that I've gotten, the experience I had staying in there, I'm going to say that it is true. Granted, I had my doubts, I was skeptical, but I was in there and I heard the knocking, the banging, the noise that helped me. I saw the girl, probably the one that's saying help me, and I really do believe that Manuel Rivero Hall is haunted.